Okay friends, we are going to start the sutta discussion with the particular sutta we selected last week. We could finish only the background story that made the Buddha to deliver the discourse. In that we discuss how the Bhikkhuni order began and what made Buddha to postpone little bit of starting the Bhikkhuni order, and how Venerable Ananda intervened the Buddha and Prajapati to make the things happen. It was interesting discussion because that is one major event that happened in the history of Sasana. Bhikkhunis were well established in their Dhamma and discipline and made a big impact to the society, because women at that time in that society were suppressed by the religious authorities and also the social norms. Though there were kind of freedom for wealthy women in the wealthy families, in administration and so forth, they were somehow considered low, and they didn't give any chance to do any religious activities in the society. We did not see any woman who got the kingship during the Buddha's time. We did not see any woman taking the responsibilities of big companies, businesses. We see only that they were doing the responsibilities at home, providing everything for men like slaves. They did not have any freedom to read the religious books. They were doing certain things at home and in places where they could go. That's all they did during the time of the Buddha. With the emergence of tradition against Brahmanism, we call them ascetic tradition, women got some type of freedom alone, but that was not established in the society. So Buddha was the one and only who understood the concept well, and he delivered that my sasana is open for everyone. In that the women were very lucky, and they were liberated from the clutches of scrutiny of Brahmanism, and then they were able to release themselves from the householder life and became bhikkhunis, marking a big change in their life as well as in the society. So Mahaprajapati and the 499 wealthy aristocratic ladies were able to move forward seeking ordination from the Buddha. They established on principles. Earlier in the order, in the sasana, at the time Buddha visited the hometown after 7 years of enlightenment. All these ladies accepted the 5 principles and other practices. Therefore, they have been in the teaching for a long time. So they were quite ready to get the ordination, but it was not easy because Buddha did not Buddha did not want to make a new issue in the society. Somehow things change, and some people argue that Buddha did not want to start the Bhikkhuni order ever, but it is not the reality. At the meeting with the Mara, because Mara asked Buddha to attain Parinibbana a couple of times, and the answer for the Mara was that I never passed away until I established the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni order well, and also I want lay people to study Dhamma like the ordained disciples. When I see that these fourfold disciples learn the Dhamma, master on the Dhamma, practice it, and attain Nibbana, then I will decide when to attain Paranibbana. So this statement of the Buddha, yes.
What is the fourfold?
Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. Yeah. So when the Buddha saw that monks and nuns and lay people, men and women, are well versed in the Dhamma, at the same time he understood that everything I want to tell about Nibbana, attaining Nibbana, suffering and causes of suffering are done, then he decided to attain Nibbana. So that was something that I want to understand in order to go into detail of this discourse. So at the beginning of the discourse we have that kind of conversation. So Mahaprajapati Gautami, the Buddha's foster mother, came with the request that we need to be, Venerable Sir, I need to be a monk, a nun, along with the other the women, but Buddha rejected it. Then Venerable Ananda intervened and explained the things that one could explain it well. Let me read the discourse today, because reading it is also important. Then you have a direct understanding about the discourse. So you know the background, conversation between Buddha and Mahaprajapati Gautami. So I will read from where Venerable Ananda intervened. Venerable Ananda said to the Blessed One, Venerable Sir, let the Blessed One accept the new pair of clothes from Mahaprajapati Gautami. So Mahaprajapati Gautami came with a robe made by herself, and her intention was to offer it to the Buddha. Just only for the Buddha. Mahaprajapati Gautami has been very helpful to the Blessed One, the Venerable Sir. So Venerable Ananda saw that Mahaprajapati Gautami was unhappy a little bit because Buddha did not accept the robe, even though the Mahaprajapati Gautami requested it for 3 times. Then Venerable Ananda intervened. Then Venerable Ananda said that Mahaprajapati Gautami was so helpful for you, Venerable Sir. As his mother's sister, she was his nurse, his foster mother, the one who gave him milk. She suckled the Blessed One when his own mother died. So this is one place of the Tripitaka where it's mentioned that Buddha's mother passed away, and Prajapati Gautami got the position of his mother and did everything for the Buddha. The Blessed One too has been very helpful to Prajapati Gautami, Venerable Sir. It is owing to the Blessed One that Mahaprajapati Gautami has gone for the refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. So Prajapati Gautami is indebted to Buddha because Buddha is the one who helped Prajapati to go refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma and Sangha. So we can see that one statement of the Buddha, if a person take refuge of triple gem with the help of someone, in return he or she is unable to restore respect by worship and any material gift. Right? If somebody help you for something good, you always think to repay either by material gift or the same gift you received, or doing something which is okay according to the convention. But if somebody helps you with the Dhamma, showing the right path, taking you from suffering, you cannot find better gift to respect him or her. You could, you do and we do it, but it's not really matching, because he or she help you with the beautiful, most wonderful thing in this world, showing you the right path for you to make your life happy. Suppose you help somebody with the impermanence, showing that everything is impermanent, don't worry, let's practice this. If you practice meditation every day, you could overcome this problem for a couple of months. Try it. So come with me and I will help you. So we have those opportunities in our life that we could help people. From their side, they don't have anything else, any material things to respect you. People try to do something by taking us to the dinner or places we would like to visit, or giving some items that we like, but it's only a kind of a token of appreciation for the good thing we did, but we all know that it's not really matching for what we do. So Buddha said that if somebody, Venerable Ananda said it here, and Buddha later accept it is right. If somebody show you the path for 5 principles and taking refuge of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha accurately, and we can come to the other things here, you cannot repair them because it's huge. Owing to the Blessed One, Mahaprajapati Gautami has gone for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. It is owing to the Blessed One that Mahaprajapati Gautami abstained from killing living beings, from taking what is not given, from misconduct in sensual pleasures, from false speech, and from wine, liquor, intoxicant, which are the basis of negligence. This is one place that we found the 5 principles, Panchasila, is mentioned in the Tripitaka. I have been looking for many discourses to find exact 5 principles we had here today, but we could not find. Dakkhinavibhanga Sutta is one discourse that it is recorded. It doesn't mean that we have these principles in other sects. Sometimes we have Panadipata, Adinnadana, Suramere, and something else there, but this is one place that we have all these 5. Because some people argue today that 5 principles are not from the Buddha. In Sri Lanka, some people argue that it's not from the Buddha's teaching, it was borrowed by the Buddha from the Hindu tradition. But we have this here that Buddha recommended the 5 principles is good and it should be practiced. And Venerable Ananda said that it is you, Buddha, that it is you, Buddha, told Mahaprajapati Gautami to practice 5 principles. Sorry. So therefore, she is very respectful for you. It is owing to the Blessed One that Mahaprajapati Gautami possesses unwavering confidence in the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha, and that she possesses the virtues loved by the noble ones. These are the 4 things that we all should have. Unwavering confidence on the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha and the virtues. Do we have this? What does this mean unwavering confidence? It means that you never change the trust on the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha and the virtues, even at the life-threatening dangers. Suppose you are traveling in war zone area. Suppose you travel in Syria. You are caught by a gang of extreme people, and I assume that the first question they asked, what is your religion? What do you say? I'm a Buddhist. You will be killed. Even at that moment, you do not lose your confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. I don't say that you should say that you are a Buddhist, right? You must be able to protect your life in the most possible way. But from inside, you have the faith on the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and the virtues you have been practicing. That kind of intense confidence is called unwavering confidence. It does not waver at all depending on the situation. Let's go into the virtue, the unwavering confidence on the virtue. It means that we find occasions that are not relevant to the principles, 5 principles. In other words, we may have opportunities to violate these principles. Suppose having liquor and going beyond the 3rd principles, telling lies, doing verbal abuses and so forth. Suddenly you remember that I based my life on 5 principles. No matter how many things I'm going to lose, I do not break any principle here at all. That is the unwavering confidence on virtues. So you even give up your life, give up the possibilities of receiving some good fame and material things in terms of protecting these 5 principles. So Buddha helped Prajapati Gautami with this aspect. Venerable Ananda said it in front of the Buddha that you help Mahaprajapati Gautami with this too, like she helped you from the time your mother passed away with many things. It is owing to the Blessed One that Mahaprajapati Gautami is free from doubt about suffering, about the origin of suffering, about the cessation of suffering, and about the way leading to the cessation of suffering. The Blessed One has been very helpful to Mahaprajapati Gautami. So this means a lot. Buddha helped Mahaprajapati Gautami to be free from doubt of 4 noble truths. It shows that Mahaprajapati Gautami had known many things before he entered to the order. Free from doubts means she does not have vichikiccha about the 4 noble truths. Her mind was so clear about the central teaching of the Buddha, very much. Like us, I hope you have confidence that the 4 noble truths from your own experience is right. Suffering, arising of suffering is because of tanha, ignorance, greed, hatred and so forth. And you know that suffering could be eliminated, and you know the path for it from your own level, from experience of level. So with that we also know that we do not have doubts about it. But it is a matter of our practice to go forward. It is another thing to discuss, but we do not have doubt about it. This is so, Buddha speak now. Ananda, that is so. Oh yes, Ananda, I agree to what you say. I help her and she helped me earlier, and I help her to be very good disciples of the truth. When one person owing to another has gone for refuge to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, I said that it is not easy for the former to repay the latter by paying homage to him, rising up for him, according him reverential salutation and polite services, and by providing robes, alms, food, resting places, and medical requisite. So this is the very place he conclude everything. If somebody help you with going refuge of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you cannot do services for that person by worshipping, by helping, by reverential methods and giving food, clothes, medicinal requisites, and so forth. So he goes to say all these things. Like I said, if somebody talk to you about the importance of 5 precepts and you then about to practice them throughout your life, you cannot repay the person who told you about the 5 precepts, paying respect because he had done an enormous valuable thing for you. And if somebody help you to free from doubt of the Four Noble Truths, is a real Kalyana Mitra, wholesome friend. So you have the faith, you have the trust, but no ways to pay him back anything with anything because of the great service he did or she did to you. Then Buddha start the discourse, the very discourse that we discussed today, Dakkhinavibhanga. I told you last week that Dakkhinavibhanga is a combination of couple of words. Dakkhina means giving. Vibhanga means explaining its section with different levels. So Buddha in this discourse explained the ways of giving with donors and receivers and their mentalities. So Buddha start the very discourse from this moment. Before that, we have the conversation between the Buddha and Prajapati, Buddha, Venerable Ananda and Prajapati, and from that we brought out some beautiful teachings that we should understand. That helps us to make our daily life peaceful and happy. Now he said in the discourse, there are 14 kinds of personal offerings. Ananda, one gives a gift to the Tathagata, the Buddha, accomplished and fully enlightened. This is the first kind of personal gift. We go to the slide, then we can understand. I made this in a way because of the gravity of merits Buddha explain. Basically, there are 14 individuals that we can take and give. There are 14 kinds of personal offerings. 14 kinds of personal offerings. It means that there are 14 individuals that we can offer something. First one is the Buddha, fully enlightened and self-accomplished. One gives a gift to Pacceka Buddha. Second one is, see the, individuals, 14 individuals from down to up. This list is made because of something else in this way. So we have the Pacceka Buddha, it's called silent Buddha. Then offering Arahants, then aspirants to Arahants, then a non-returner, one who is striving for non-returning level. Then we have once returner, then one who is on the path for once returner, then a stream winner, then the one who is striving for stream winning position, Sotapanna, then the one who has overcome the desire for sensual pleasures could be out of this order of the Buddha. It could be someone from the other religion too, but the speciality of that person is totally away from sensual pleasures. Then we find morally good person. He is so good. He is totally away from violating those principles, and he is so good. And then the immoral person, unrighteous person who doesn't observe any principles. Then the animal. So these are the 14 individuals that we can have for donating something. So Buddha said after that, so here in Ananda, by giving a gift to an animal, the offering may be expected to repay 100-fold. So merits from promoting offerings. Sorry about this. Offering to an animal, let's say that we get 100 meritorious results. We can talk about in that way. But when you offer something to an immoral person, the result is more than that. This is the way we need to understand. Suppose you give food to a dog or cat or an elephant or a bird, you still get merits, but if you give the same food to a person who is hungry, could be that person is not practicing any good thing, but still you have the meritorious power is more than you give to an animal. Then offering to a morally good person, by giving a gift to a virtuous person, virtuous ordinary person, the offering may be expected to repay 100,000-fold. So now you see how the meritorious powers could increase, rather offering something to a morally wholesome person. So then we have the fourth individuals, the one who is away from sensual pleasures. If we have the ability to offer something to this kind of people, we get the merits more than the previous person, offering something to previous person. Then we have the person who practiced to attain stream winning position. So when I see this list of 14 individuals and offering to 14 individuals, we can see that there are virtues, power of wisdom, power of concentration made the biggest impact for the increasing of merits. But the question we have is how people know that this man, this woman has that much clear mind. We do not know whether this person has attained to Sotapanna or Sakadagami or any level of enlightenment. So that's the question we have in us when we offer the dana. Having said this list, he says that something else too in the same discourse. It's 7 kinds of Sangika Dana. Maximum there are 14 individuals you can select for giving. In that 14 individuals you have everyone in this world, animals and human beings. We don't see any evidence in the Tripitaka commentaries that people can give food for divine beings, invisible beings. But a lot of people today prepare food trays and go to kovils, right? And thinking that it gives merits. Buddha has talked about recollection of divine beings as a form of meditation, but he never told that people can give materials, food, material things as gift item for divine being. But even Buddhists today go to divine beings with full tray of fruits and other things, seeking refuge, which is totally against what the Buddha taught. So giving gift is only recommended to humans and animals. Some people in various areas of Sri Lanka prepare the first part of their food on coconut leaves and banana leaves and put them in junction, thinking that the ghost come and eat and support them in living. These are only beliefs, but they are against Buddha's teaching, because Buddha mentioned the 14 individuals here who could you offer something, and all of them are, except the first one, all of them are human beings. First one says an animal, and one animal means every type of animals. So we go to the next one. According to the discourse, 7 kinds of Sangika Dana, offering to a bhikkhu and bhikkhuni Sangha led by the Buddha. So we cannot have this dance today. We can think that Buddha is here with the, and that's why we offer the food for the Buddha on trays, but there is no real Buddha. In my understanding, this dana could only be practiced during the time of the Buddha. That's the first kind of Sangika Dana. What do you mean by Sangika Dana? Yeah, offered to the order of monks or nuns. It does not mean just one person. It is to multiple number of monks. It is to the community of monks. That means Sangika Dana. Sangha means the Pali word samuha. It means community. So the first kind of such dana is offering to bhikkhu and bhikkhuni Sangha led by the Buddha. Second, offering to bhikkhu and bhikkhuni Sangha. There is no Buddha there, but only bhikkhu and bhikkhunis. Today we cannot see monks and nuns together because monks, we do not have that many bhikkhunis around us. The number of bhikkhunis are very less compared to monks. Then offering only to bhikkhu Sangha. Offering only to bhikkhuni Sangha, the fourth one. Offering to a number of bhikkhu and bhikkhuni Sangha. You cannot get all the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, but depending on the space you have in your house, so you just invite only 5, 6, 10, 15 and so forth. Offering to a number of bhikkhu Sangha. Offering to a number of bhikkhuni Sangha. So here, do you see any statement in the discourse, if you read it, that we need at least 4 monks to perform a Sangika Dana? No, it's not coming from the discourses. It's not coming from the Vinaya. It's from people's belief. I don't know how this idea came into being. But some people believe that in order to perform a Sangika Dana, we should have at least 4 or higher ordained bhikkhus or bhikkhunis. No, it's wrong. Because Sangika Dana is not a Vinaya conduct. We need number of monks, particular number of monks only for Vinaya Kam, disciplinary activities. To ordain a monk or to ordain a layperson, we need a number of high ordained bhikkhus. To make a novice monk a higher ordained monk, we need a number of higher ordained monks. So these are the Vinaya rules. And if we have a case to discuss in the Sangha court, we need a specific number of higher ordained monks. And in order to dispel a monk from the community, we need a number of higher ordained monks. So these are the occasions we consider the number of higher ordained monks. But giving a dana is not a Vinaya rule. It's not a matter that really affect to the sasana. It is a time that we have a relationship between monks and lay people. So we go to the next, that is an offering to an immoral yellow neck. So having said all these things in the discourse, Buddha said that in the future you may not have monks like today. He said it 2500 years ago. Over the course of time, the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis evolved their physical appearance as well as the way they think about the teaching, the teacher, and the community of Sangha could change. He predicted that Sasana got into problems because of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis and political reasons and lay people and so forth. So he said that in the future there would be people with only a yellow string on their hands, and they are considered as Sangha, disciples of the Buddha. They could be like lay people wearing trousers and shirt, and if we talk about the bhikkhunis, they could be like women. But in order to distinguish themselves from the main lay community, they wear only yellow color or red color, whatever color piece of clothes in their hand. So even to offering them some food, medicine, clothes in the name of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, it brings you merits, because you think about the Buddha and the disciples from the very outset of the sasana. Therefore your thoughts become pure. No matter how immoral these yellow necks are, offering made to them in terms of offering to Sangha is higher than those individual offerings. So we mentioned that there are 14 individuals. So offering something to individuals brings us less merits, but if we offer them to community of Sangha as mentioned in the previous slides, and also these yellow necks people bring much merits. Here yellow necks means they tie the yellow piece of cloth in their neck. That is quite interesting, because Prajapati went to the monastery with the robe. She prepared herself to offer to the Buddha. And Buddha said, now that offering to me doesn't make sense, I need Prajapati to accrue more merits. So offer it to Venerable Sangha. So now we make the point. We make sense that why the Buddha said this to Prajapati Gautama. But Prajapati did not understand that, because she thought that Buddha did not have that much love for me. I spent so many hours, so many days to make this robe, thinking about the Buddha, but Buddha did not have that kind of affection to me, though she was in super understanding about the Four Noble Truths. Right? Sometimes we have this, we have so much good feelings in our heart and prepare things for somebody we like, and we are going to give it to. If we show some normal feelings, we become upset. Oh, how many hours, how many days I prepare for this, and he or she is unkind to me, it's not nice, it's not legitimate. So we have this feeling. That is because the too much expectation in us. So here Prajapati is convinced very much with the teaching that why I asked you to give to the Sangha, because individual offering could not bring you so much merit. If you offer it to community, then it is more powerful, more powerful than those individual offering. Finally, in these sets we come to one important thing: 4 types of purification of offering. Offering purified by the giver, not by the receiver. So the offering could be purified, could be good because of the givers, because of the donors' good qualities. Suppose you have some stuff to give somebody, and you find somebody on the road and he or she is taking drugs. Giving that person whatever you prepare could be good because your mind is pure. No matter what the other person who receives that does with that, it doesn't matter for you, because your mind always associates with the sense of giving. You are kind, you are you prepare with your moral principles. So that giving is good because of the donor's purity. That's what we mean in the first one. Offering purified by the giver, not by the receiver. Offering purified by the receiver, not by the giver. Sometimes people steal money, properties, and maintain their life, and they spend those money to give dana, to give dana to monks and children and elderly people, organize free food giving. The way they own the money and the property were not right. Therefore, their hands is not free from greed, hatred, and delusion. So, but they give food, clothes and medicine, whatever they give, to somebody who is pure in conduct. That giving also is pure because the receiver is good. Offering purified by neither the giver nor the receiver. It means that both the donor and the receiver are immoral. That giving is not pure because of the donor and the receiver. Finally,
but it says purified, so
yeah,
it is pure then.
No, I mean there is something wrong with the slide, I believe. Let me see. How is the offering purified neither by the giver nor by the receiver? Here the giver is immoral, of evil character, and the receiver is immoral, of evil character. Thus the offering purified neither by the giver nor by the receiver. It does mean that the giving is not purified. if both parties are not good, the giving could not be good too. So finally we have this offering purified by the giver and the receiver. Both parties are good. You know why we observe 5 principles at the very beginning of a dana? Because of this reason. You were so hard working to prepare the dana, to prepare everything. You could not be focused always on virtues. Of course your mind is good in the preparation, but you are not mindful about that. So the tradition has been there that, okay, sit down and let us take some time to recollect what we based on. Then the donors have some time to bring his moral virtues back into his mind and give it to. Otherwise there is no point of observing 5 principles and so forth. At the beginning of dana, we know that you are good, and that this is the very reason that we have that tradition. Okay, how do offerings become purified? The same thing actually, but I want to show you the very statement of the discourse. If a virtuous person abstain gifts in righteous means and offer them to an immoral person with pure thoughts and understanding the benefits of giving, that offering becomes pure due to the giver. Yo silava silavante sudadati danang dhammena laddang supasanna chitto abhisaddhang kamma palang ularang sa dakkina dayako visujjati. If a virtuous person obtain gifts in righteous means, it means that you achieved certain things in your life, and the money that you spend for the dana is taken by righteous means. Offer them to an immoral person, but the donor is immoral, but you have pure thoughts and you believe on karma. Giving is good. Giving is to anybody is good. Giving leads me to peace and happiness. That's the karma. Believe on karma. That dana, that offering becomes pure due to the giver. Now, second one, offering is purified because of the receiver, not by the giver. If an unrighteous person abstain gifts in unrighteous means and offer them to an immoral person with impure thoughts and not believe in the benefits of giving, that offering is not pure and of not great fruit. So the qualities are not there. The very thing we all need to understand is the intention. His intention, the donor's intention, is negative. That's and he does not believe on karma. He does not believe that giving is good. Because of these facts, the dana is not righteous. Offering is not purified. Something is missing here. There. If an unrighteous person abstain gift in unrighteous means and offer them to an immoral person, of course this is negative. And then offering is purified because of the giver and the receiver. So the last one, both parties are good and both of them believes on karma and they have the good intention in their mind. Therefore definitely this giving is good and one of the best. But the best giving is coming after the all. If a desireless person abstain gift in righteous mean, who is desireless person? One who has done with the sensual pleasures. It could be a sotapan, it could be a sakadagam, it could be anagami. We cannot include the arahants because they do not gather any merits, because there is no possibility in their heart for them to accumulate merits or demerits. There is nothing to do with these things for an arahant. So desireless person means beyond the arahant level down, and they obtain a gift in righteous mean and offer them to a desireless person, same type of person, with pure thoughts and believing on the benefits of giving. That offering is pure and great fruit. Also, it is the highest offering in material giving. So that's the end of the discourse. I know that this discourse is taken to discussion for the second time. I remember we discussed this discourse a year ago, but I took it again because it is important for us. We hang on to the teaching which explain Sila, Samadhi and Panya just by giving. When we give something, we could practice Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Specifically speaking, we can practice Noble Eightfold Path in act of giving. How do we practice all 8 noble paths in act of giving? Giving is good. Giving brings us blessings. Giving allows us to be giving allows us to be free from selfish ideas. Giving make us virtuous, righteous. This is right understanding. Giving give us merits, and we can transfer them to departed people. When we give, people like us. People understand us as compassionate and kind. We are not stingy. We have compassion in us. This is called right intention, samma sankappa. When you give, you do not hate anybody else. Of course, people are there who harbor anger in giving. I want to give just to show them how powerful I am giving. So there are people like that. People spend money for charity just to show that how good they are. There are people like that. That is not right understanding. But when you give with the base of the Buddha's teaching, you have only thought of loving kindness, thought of renunciation, thought of non-ill will. It means compassion, loving kindness and generosity. It's right intention. During giving, before giving and after giving, you do not talk about anything bad. You speak good words to your members, family members, people who gathered there. You maintain a good relationship with words. That's called right speech. Of course, you do not steal, you do not do any violation of moral principle in giving. You collect all these materials as much as you can with the righteous means, right action and right livelihood. Right effort is there as well. Your effort is to let go of all the negative emotion and bring your mind with peaceful qualities. That's called right effort, right mindfulness and right concern. You are concentrated to the very act of giving, which is not the right samadhi there, but it is a seed of samadhi is there. So we can practice the Noble Eightfold Path in this very act of giving. That is wonderful. So any questions about the discourse? Anything you want to share? If not, I can tell you a story about giving. Do you know the story of 3 divine beings who were born in divine being as a result of 3 meritorious deeds that they did in human existence? Venerable Moggallana, he is the foremost disciple of the Buddha with psychic power. He used to travel to places where beings suffer a lot, for example, the ghost realms, and also the divine existence. One day he was in a tour to divine world, and he met a divine being which is beautiful, and he saw that his mansion is so gorgeous with golden color, and so many things were there. So Venerable Moggallana went closer and asked the question, what did you do to have all these things in your divine existence? What made you to be a divine being like this? Venerable Sir, I did not do many things in my human existence to have all these things as a result. Only one good thing I did throughout my life, that is Satchang Bane. I speak truth always as a principle. I never tell a lie. I speak truth as my dharma, and I didn't go to temple, listen to them. I didn't do charity. I didn't help people. I didn't volunteer, and I didn't do any of those things, but I speak the truth. That's all I did. As a result of that good karma, I reborn into this life, and I have all these things because of that. Then Venerable Moggallana pleased him more Dhamma on speaking truth, and carry on his tour in the divine world. After a few minutes, he found another beautiful deity with a beautiful mansion, and Venerable Moggallana asked the same questions. How did you get these things? What made you to be a divine being like this? Could you please explain me the causes and conditions for what you received today? Then he said, Venerable Sir, I also didn't do that much, but I never get angry. Nakujjaya. When I was in the human world, I had the opportunities to get angry, but I did not. I practice loving kindness always, in my words, in my action, even in my thoughts. I was fully compassionate. As a result of this meritorious deed, it's a meritorious deed, it's also a skillful deed, kusala karma. After death, I reborn into divine existence. So I have these things because of that. Venerable Moggallana pleased him with Dhamma related to his loving kindness, and continue his trip in the divine world. Then he found a very, very beautiful, better than those two divine beings, a beautiful mansion with a beautiful deity, and he has lot of supporters, divine beings. He asked the same set of questions from the third divine being. Then the divine being answered the question, Venerable Sir, I was so happy when I was in the human world because of one thing. That is, I gave food, clothes, medicine, other things, everything to people who come to my house happily. And I offer food and all kind of needy things for mendicants happily. I enjoyed giving very much. Because of this, I reborn to this divine existence with these retinue of divine beings and huge palace-like mansion, and then my radiant the body is because of that, and I'm so beautiful. So giving food and other items to mendicants and people who came to that house is resulted with these beautiful things. Then Venerable Moggallana explained the Dhamma for the divine being, especially about giving, and returned to the Buddha and explained what he heard from three divine beings. Then asked whether these three divine beings said the truth. Buddha said, yes, they were human beings before. They did so many meritorious deeds in the particular ways they happened to, and as a result they reborn with those divine pleasures. So now we see how powerful giving is. It is not because of just one particular skill we could develop in giving, but it allows us to expand our mind, understanding to each and every single skillful qualities. How many things we have in our life, right? So we have food, we have clothes, we have medicine, whatever we want to get, we can get it today. So we of course are very good in giving, but we need to give more and more, because it helps us to be happy right now. Psychological happiness is so much, so that we should take opportunities to give. And in the future, at the time you suffer from various diseases, especially on deathbed, you could rely on what you did. I have experience, it's a kind of personal experience. One of my Lokutatas sick now, and he's around 80s. I know that he is not good in giving. He hardly went to a temple. He is good in, he likes his children, he likes relatives, and I don't think he's missed any opportunity of family matters, but he didn't have that much interest to do giving, helping people, and so forth. Now he's on deathbed. He had a fracture in his back and somewhere in left leg. Now he cannot walk. Now he suffer a lot. I need to listen to Dhamma. I could not go to temple for a long time to give dana to monks, and I like to go and give some food for elderly house, senior home. It's in down south of Sri Lanka. He lives, but he is unable to give. He suffer a lot from what he didn't do. But we all can be happy because we have a hand to give. We always like to give. So there are people like that who did not practice giving, become suffer a lot, especially at times they could not giving themselves. So friends, that's the end of the discourse. It could be something you know very much, but there are some points that we need to keep remember. In this discourse we find that Buddha said we cannot repay for someone who shows us the path to to the Dhamma. If someone help us with 5 principles and four noble truths and 3 refuges and many more, they are super good. We cannot pay our respect just by giving. Token of appreciation is the way we show our gratitude, but we should think that the service, the good things they did to us is enormous, not matching with whatever we give. And the other thing, 5 precepts are clearly mentioned in this discourse. And then we know 14 individuals that we could give, and based on their moral principles, understanding the meritorious powers differ from. And then we have 7 types of Sangika Dana, and Dana could be purified with the donors and receivers' moral principles, and we came to know all these things. It helps you to increase your understanding of giving and energize yourself in terms of giving. And we would be able to discuss, we could be able to discuss how we develop the Noble Eightfold Path in the very act of giving. No matter how many times you meditate, how good you at meditation, just continue giving throughout your life, because that helps to be away from 5 hindrances. Giving dana and seeing how people become happy could be so influential for you to be with the meditation subject. So the power is coming invisibly to us to make us good, make us perfect in meditation. So friends, that's the end of the discussion.